Hi guys, thanks for tuning this episode of the New Keegan Times. On this episode, we have an amazing guest. We have the tremendous singer, songwriter, and guitarist Mitch James. Mitch is from Auckland, New Zealand. Mitch has had some incredible stats so far in his musical career to date. For example, 192 million global streams, 6 million global video views. Mitch has opened for Ed Sheeran on his Divide tour for all three Dunedin dates back in 2018. And in summer 2019-2020, Mitch opened for 660 on their world tour. Mitch has had hit songs Bright Blue Skies, Sunday Morning, No Fixed Abode, Move On, and 21, which have featured on the official New Zealand music charts. Mitch's self-titled first album debuted at number 2 on the New Zealand chart and number 1 on the New Zealand Artist Album chart, and has since been certified platinum by Recorded Music New Zealand. Mitch has now just released a terrific new single called History, which was only released last Friday, the 4th of March. It's his first new music over a year. Welcome, Mitch James, and thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, brother. Great to be here.
Awesome. How's it all been going over there?
Yeah, well, I've been in New Zealand I was in Australia in 2020, moved back to New Zealand 2021, and basically just been trying to get the music off the ground again in these COVID times. But yeah, I'm over in LA at the moment filming a music video, doing a little bit of recording and writing. So yeah, basically just trying to get this album done and a finished product, and yeah, and just hope the world likes it.
100%. I like it. I was listening to it yesterday, mate. It's an amazing song. Talk to me about the new song History and I guess the background of it. And it's a very upbeat song, the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the world needs something upbeat, you know what I mean? So try to do something upbeat. And basically, I mean, the story behind the song is, I don't know, I feel like everyone kind of has the one person in their life where, you know, you probably shouldn't, but sometimes you go back there when you shouldn't, and then you get back together, you don't, blah, blah, blah. I mean, even if you don't have that person, you probably had it at some stage in your life. So, you know, it's about that for me. And yeah, I felt like combined with the feeling in the world right now and what the song's about, I just wanted to make it upbeat and happy. And, you know, I kind of have this reputation of the male miserable Taylor Swift sort of making all these depressing breakup songs. But no, I really wanted to give people something to dance to play on Friday and Saturday with their friends and just have a boogie to.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, definitely can see that smashing the charts because, yeah, mate, it's an amazing song. All right, take us back. Tell me about growing up in New Zealand and obviously what life was like for you growing up.
Yeah, I mean, so growing up, I went to a nice school and everything was normal probably till I was about 15. And something happened at school where one of my mates brought some pot to school. I ended up going home and my mum asked me how my day was. I said, oh, it was all good. And my mate brought some pot to school and she took it on herself to tell the school. I kind of became a bit of a pariah, if that's the right word, sort of the outcast, and got picked on. And in that stage, when I kind of avoid everyone at school, I go to the music center and I started teaching myself how to play guitar, and it just became a love. And I went and saw Ed Sheeran about a year later, and I thought, you know what, if this geezer can do it, I feel like I can do it as well. And I try to follow his blueprint. Bless him. I love Teddy. He's a great guy. And I try to follow his blueprint pretty much word for word. Went over to the UK when I finished school, and you know, I slept on the street and slept in cars and basically I a lot of couches, more couches than anything. But yeah, I basically had this dream, and I was a bit of a psycho, you know, like I wasn't going to stop until I had some traction on this dream. And I still feel the same way today. I still feel like I haven't achieved what I want to achieve, but you know, the mindset has changed from then. But back then, yeah, I was a very hungry young man who was, yeah, I didn't have a relationship really with my family. I had only a couple friends, no girlfriend, little fat bastard. And yeah, I had this dream, and I went for it extremely hard and didn't work out the first time I went to London. I went back with my tail between my legs. I got helped out by a great man called Nick Horsell, who basically sorted me out to get back home. And when I got back home, I was a young scruffy bastard, and all my friends were at uni. I decided, you know what, I'm getting back over there. So I started selling some illicit substances to some young men and women down in Dunedin, and got enough money to get back. Went and saw Nick again at his hostel, and started playing music, started busking, and it didn't really work out for 3 or 4 months. And when I kind of came to and was like, hey, shit, man, you might need to think about doing something else for your life, bro. This ain't working out too good. A couple of days later, I got an email from Sony Music, and then another journey started.
Wow, that's incredible. Tell me about what has been the most memorable moment. So obviously Sony reached out to you, and then obviously the rest is history, I guess, in that sense. What have been the most memorable experiences? And obviously hitting New Zealand charts, that's incredible. What was that feeling like, seeing, from obviously where you were back then to now? Like, that's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always got to remind myself to be grateful about how far I've come, and remind myself that almost daily, if not daily. But yeah, I think I'm always looking for more. I got that curse, you know what I mean? So New Zealand charts were great, but I want my music to go to the world. And there's this kind of feeling in New Zealand of like we're the little cousin or whatever. And excuse my French, but fuck that. For me, that's not how I operate. I want to go as big as I can. I want my music to positively affect as many people as I can. But yeah, if I was to pick one moment, look, I have some really special moments with me and my fans, just me and my fans with my own shows. And there's a couple shows that I'll forever cherish. But it's pretty hard to beat going on stage to 40,000 people before Ed Sheeran, or 60,000 people before 660. And for me, it's really special moments, because those are the two artists that I always were my number ones, even above the Oasis and Bruce Springsteens. They were always my number ones. So to open for them, not only was it amazing for me, but it's that motivation to go, hey, look, these guys believe in you. Ed Sheeran believes in you. 660 believe in you. If you believe in yourself enough, one day this can be you. So that's the journey I'm on right now, and it's a long, slow one, but it's the journey, and yeah, like they say, it's the journey, not the destination.
100%, and yeah, it's an exciting journey you're on too, my friend.
Yeah, brother.
Tell me about the foundation you started, Bring People Dancing, in 2019. Talk to me about that, and obviously your friend that obviously committed suicide. That would obviously been very heartbreaking and very hard to deal with.
Yeah, so I mean, Bring People Dancing, basically. I'm not on the board anymore, but I'm still the founder and still a big ambassador. But basically, we had me and the guy who co-founded it with me, my ex-manager, who's an amazing guy. His best friend had borderline personality disorder, which is very close to my family as well. And basically, like we love this dude unconditionally, and he had a lot of issues, but when he was at gigs, this dude just light up like a Christmas tree. And it was his place where we never had to worry about staying when he was at a gig, because he's just loving it. He's up in the front left, bloody getting stuck in. And so when he passed, me and my manager at the time, we were both in America, and we had to fly back for the funeral and everything, and it was awfully tough. And I just remember ringing it up one day and going like, hey, but don't you think it would be an amazing idea if we set up a foundation where basically we give people who are going through what Stain, our friend, was going through, or similar with mental health issues, why don't we use our connections, because it's no skin off our back, to give these people experiences with their favorite artists, or give them a VIP ticket to their favorite artist show when they come into New Zealand. And we're not acting like we're the cure, but we're a Band-Aid, and we have a system in place where we then refer these people to the right professionals, and all of that stuff. I've probably very unprofessionally explained it, but that's the gist behind it, is basically giving the opportunity for people who are struggling with their mental health, clinically especially, to give them an experience that might just keep them here for another day, and then we deal with the rest. Yeah
for sure. And if you had any advice to anyone that was coming up in the music industry now, that was in a similar position to you, obviously going to the UK and before it all happened, what advice would you give to the younger generation and people that are trying to come through?
That's a great question, bro. I feel the game is ever changing, and I've been out the game for a little while. So, I mean, hustle and perseverance, determination, all of those kind of words, they're the words I would say. Because I was obsessed, man. If I talked to myself 6 years ago, I'd fucking hate that guy. Completely switched off to anything apart from tunnel vision. And I feel like if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, Nick. It really is. You got to work almost. I probably use the term very loosely, but like psychopathically hard. It's your obsession and your drive that will get you there. But you also got to be good. You know what I mean? You got to be yourself. You can't be trying to copy Post Malone or copy this guy or that guy. You have to be yourself. And I feel like people have a sixth sense for that. So if you're being true to yourself, you work harder than the next guy. I'm lucky I don't have to come up now and do the TikTok shit or any. Well, my label would probably tell me I have to do the TikTok shit, but I you know what I mean. There's mediums of the time where right now it's TikTok. If you want to be a young guy and you want to get a deal, work your ass up on TikTok, or you can do it the way I did and play a million gigs till someone gives you their business card or someone hears about it. Put a zillion covers up online, and one will stick. And if you want it bad enough, you'll get it. Like, that's the one thing I would respect about me 5 years ago. I was like, that guy knows what he wants and he's going to get it eventually.
Well, it looks like it's definitely working, mate.
We'll get there.
What inspires you daily?
You know what, Nick? I feel like it's kind of cliche, right? But like, people inspire me. I had a big period of being inspired by Conor McGregor. Right now, it's actually an Australian fighter, George Kambosos Jr. For me, I just love fighters' mindsets, and I love an underdog.
Yeah.
And that shit motivates me so much. Like, seeing a kid from Sydney, Australia, go and beat every single odds maker in the world, going into some guy's backyard and taking the belts, like that for me. I remember listening to his interviews and he goes, I work out 3 times a day. And so next day, I'm working out 3 times a day. You know what I mean? It's always people. And for me, Ed Sheeran's inspired me a lot, especially the way he carries himself around the shit that people never see. Like when we were on tour together, and the way he carried himself actually blew me away. Like, he's the consummate professional. But it's, I think for me, it's definitely people and the motivation behind other people that motivates me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, talk about your songwriting process. So, I guess get a little bit granular. What is the basis? What makes a good song that you believe, in your opinion?
I think if I was to give the briefest answer possible, it would be melody. Melody followed by lyrics. Like, you could tell me a poem and my ADHD brain would switch off halfway through it. But if you give me a poem that goes da 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 da, that ADHD brain just focused on that, right? And so for me, it's melody, a beautiful melody that is supplemented by great lyrics. Figure out the rest. Leave that to the producers. But yeah, it's definitely melody and lyrics for me, and then everything else is sort of the Salt Bay or the icing on top.
Yeah, awesome. And tell me, what does the future look like for me? So what are the current projects? Obviously, you've released a new song, which is amazing. What are you doing, tours? What's the future look like?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be the kind of guy that had every single detail for the next 5 years planned out. But to be honest, the last couple, at least the last year, I'm just really just trying to be as fluid as possible. I mean, trying to release music in this day and age, let alone with all of your industry sort of things that can hold it up, it's just tough. You know, the market's down 30 to 40% in terms of ticket sales and streaming. So yeah, I feel like you just got to get it right. And then yeah, so I'll be focusing on the album the next couple months. We'll get that out, and then if people enjoy it like they enjoyed the last one, then I'd imagine I'd be a busy man the next couple of years. But yeah, it's the music. I've always really loved. Noel Gallagher's always said the music business is music first, So you got to get the music right and then worry about all of that showbiz crap. So that's the focus now. And yeah, I hope people like it. And then I get to do the showbiz crap because that's fun.
100%. Fabulous. Well, how did the pandemic, when it hit, affect you personally and professionally?
Yeah, I mean, personally, to be honest, like I've always been a bit of a lone ranger. Like I've lived by myself for a long time. So like it wasn't too much of a shock. I hate, like I know people hate it when people say that because like it's tough. But don't get me wrong. Like the pandemic was tough because it's magnified and exaggerated. So yeah, like that was tough, and it was tough on my relationship and all of that. Just like your everyday man or woman. But yeah, professionally it was it's pretty much as close to a death blow as you get. Like I'd worked about the tip of the iceberg was since I signed my deal, but the whole iceberg, I'm talking about 8 or 9 years of working really hard for this moment. I had my hit single with Sunday Morning, and I was starting to work internationally, and yeah, COVID hit, and couldn't release music. Had some issues behind the scenes with some stuff, and then yeah, delayed it again and again, and had to release a song that like I think it's a great song, but if I'm honest, like was it the #1 song that I really wanted to release? No. But now we're finally there. So it feels like this song hopefully can make up for all of those sort of tidbits and crazy stuff going on, and we can build a foundation to get back there. But like I said, it's about the music. So as long as I'm being honest with myself and making honest, good music, then I give myself the best chance, and it's just up to everyone else after that.
Yeah, for sure. From my personal perspective, you're very humble, mate. You're very approachable, and you're very personable.
Thank
so
you,
that's the vibes I get.
Thank you.
Tell me, what are your hobbies and passions aside from music? I know obviously you're very focused and you're lasered in on it. What do you like if you get any downtime just to relax and unwind? What do you like to do?
I'm a big sports guy. I'm a bit of a classic lad underneath it all. You know what I mean? I love my. I got my teams. I got the Cleveland Browns in the NFL. I got the mighty New Zealand Vodafone Warriors. Yeah, and as a Kiwi, you follow the All Blacks too. But yeah, I love that. I love fighting. Fighting is I don't get in any fights. I don't get in any fights or scrap anyone out. But I love training. I love training, and I love watching the fights. I was at the UFC last night, actually. But yeah, 2 nights ago. But yeah, it's I'm an active guy, and I'm a lover boy. When I got a missus, that's the #1 priority. So no, look, I love music. I love life and my people and my family, my friends, and I'm just a normal guy, really, that sings about his feelings. To be honest, there's not much more interesting about me.
No, I think there's more, mate. I think it's very interesting. Very interesting. And you've done a bit of traveling. Where's your favorite places you've been or you like to go to?
Great question, bro. I love Amsterdam. I have some friends in Amsterdam, and yeah, shout out to the boys. They're awesome guys. I really love the Dutch people. I actually found they're very engaging, very educated, interesting people. Love their. Where else do I love? Man, it's hard to go past Australia as well. Like I mean, I'm a very New Zealand sort of dude, but I love going up the coast. Love Byron. It's beautiful. And there's some places in New Zealand I can't go past, Dunners and Wellies. But yeah, I'm really a homebody at the end of the day. I love our area of the world, Australia and New Zealand, and I kind of feel like when I'm on tour or when I'm doing something like I am now, I'm kind of always thinking about home. But like you enjoy where you are, but I just I miss my mum.
Oh, hopefully get back there soon and you can see her.
Very soon, yeah. Luckily we don't have the quarantine anymore. I'm sure it's the same over in Oz. It's a game changer.
Oh, it really is. It really is. It makes life so much better, and you want to travel more. So definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mitch, thanks for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it, mate. I think you've done amazing stuff, and your future and your trajectory on your music is just amazing, and it's incredible. And yeah, thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. I really appreciate you having me, brother. And hopefully we get to chop it up sometime in person sometime soon.
Yeah, 100%, brother. I can see that definitely on the cards.
My man, appreciate you, brother. Hope that's all good for you. And yeah, like I said, I'll hopefully see you soon, bro.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.